Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Come fly with me, let's float down to Peru. In Lamaland there's a one-man band and he'll toot his flute for you. Come fly with me, let's take off in the blue. Once I get you up there where the air is rarefied, we'll just glide starry-eyed. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near. You may hear the angels cheer because we're together. Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. Just say the words and we'll beat those birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Oh, come on and fly. Once I get you up there where the air is rarefied, we'll just glide starry-eyed. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near. You may hear all the angels.
Yes, if you wanted to sit next to the window.
Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. You just say those words and we'll beat those birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's so perfect for flying.
Hi, Jeremy. Since you're sitting the closest to me, buddy, you're also the closest to the controls here. So we want to keep this area nice and clear throughout the entire flight. You can feel free to stretch both legs all the way out if you need to. I know it's a little tight fit, but I just need to keep it nice and clear for flight.
There's no combination of words I could put on the back of a postcard. No song that I could sing, but I can try for your heart. Our dreams, and they are made out of real things, like a shoebox of photographs and sepia tone loving. Love is the answer, at least, for most of the questions in my heart, like why are we here and where do we go, and how come it's so hard? Not always easy, and sometimes life can be deceiving. I'll tell you one thing, it's always better when we're together. It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at the stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together. might find their way into my dreams tonight, but I know that they'll be gone when the morning light sings or brings new things. But tomorrow night you see that they'll be gone too. Too many things I have to do, but if all of these dreams might find their way into my day-to-day scene, I'd be under the impression I was somewhere in between, with only two, just me and you. Not so many things we got to do, or places we got to be. We'll sit beneath the mango tree now. Yeah, it's always better when we're together. We're somewhere in between.
Alrighty, folks. Aloha mai kako ke kahiaka o Brody ku inoa e tomo mai. Welcome aboard. Good morning. My name is Brody, and I do have an amazing experience for us all, but before we can get going, I need to make sure that everyone on board was able to see that safety briefing video, and if you saw that video, all we need is a thumbs up around, please. Fantastic, we're legal. Folks, I'm going to be extremely busy with air traffic control to get us cleared out of the Kahului airspace. Once we're out of the airspace, I'll be back with you. It's going to be a few minutes after departure, though, until you hear from me, so please sit back, relax, enjoy your flight. And one more thing, folks, please keep your arms, legs, and air traps at all times throughout the entire flight. Your safety means everything to me. And before we pick off the ground, I want everybody to look down at your seatbelt buckle, make sure it is on and connected. And we want to keep our hands free of that area throughout the flight.
And there is no combination of words I could say, but I will still tell you one thing, we're better together. As I was saying, just before you left the room before I assumed that you might not come around. As I was saying, just after I took my foot from my mouth and put it back on the ground. Well, I don't want to disappoint you, and I don't want to disappear from here, or now, or you. is worth saving, 'cause the sum of us is more than enough. If you add us up and subtract my lack of sleep, my mind feels crazy when all these thoughts come rushing. Should I be trusting them or only let them be?
Alright folks, finally being cleared out of the Kahului airspace this morning. However, throughout the flight today, I'll be busy with aircraft separation with other tour pilots and military aircraft. So if I'm mid-sentence and I just stop talking, I apologize. I'll be back with you as soon as I can.
Is it just a matter?
We're going to make our way right on up into this beautiful valley that we have in front of us, known as the Waihe'e Valley. In Hawaiian, Waihe'e means slippery water. Now this valley gets its name because of how much water continuously flows through the valley throughout the year. So if anyone was trying to hike up through the valley itself, they'd have a difficult time at it with how slippery the terrain is.
Would you fall? Found my foundation, it was underneath me all along. When it's fast, I'm all down there for one alone. I've been erasing, rewrote the second half like this. My protagonist might find his way back home. And I don't want to disappoint you, and I don't want to disappear from here. For now, for you. No, not from here. For now.
Folks, we are passing through what is known as the keyhole. Now, anything beyond the keyhole is not accessible on foot. So the only way for us to actually see the very back of the Waihe'e Valley is by doing exactly what you and I are doing right now. To the very back of the Waihe'e Valley, we are greeted with these beautiful waterfalls known as the Wall of Tears. As we get closer, you'll notice these waterfalls are not coming from the very top of the West Maui Mountains. They are being fed from a volcanic reservoir that sits deep within the mountain. So no matter what, 365 days a year, rain or shine, these waterfalls will flow. Now, the earlier Hawaiians called the West Maui Mountains Mauna Kaha'alave, Mountain of Holding Water. Alright folks, everyone doing okay so far? Great. Folks, back in 1992, Steven Spielberg and Universal Studios arrived to the Hawaiian Islands for the filming of the very first Jurassic Park movie. A majority of that movie was filmed over on the island of Kauai. However, a few scenes were filmed on the island of Oahu and also here on the Valley Isle of Maui. One of those film locations is the valley that's coming up in front of us, which is known as Hanakahau. Folks, as we enter into the back of Hanakahau this morning, welcome to Jurassic Park. I'm going to anticipate a few little bumps here and there as we make our way into the valley. 20 minutes into the very first Jurassic Park movie, a helicopter lands at the base of a beautiful waterfall known as Manawai Opuna. Folks, that waterfall is actually located on the island of Kauai. And Steven Spielberg loved that waterfall, but he wanted it to be taller. So he sent a crew out here to the island of Maui, and they came across this waterfall in the very back of Hanakahau Valley. And through Hollywood magic, they pieced the two different waterfalls together, giving us Jurassic Falls. On the release of Jurassic Park back in 1993, Universal Studios knew they had themselves a blockbuster on their hands. What they didn't know at that time is they would create one of the highest grossing franchises in Universal Studios' history. Nearly every single Jurassic Park movie has had a scene filmed here in the state of Hawaii. I've had the privilege of working on Jurassic World over on the island of Oahu. I was one of the lucky pilots selected for that movie. Out of all the movies and TV shows that I've done throughout the years flying here in the state of Hawaii, Jurassic World was by far my favorite job to work on. Folks, we are beginning a gradual descent here towards Moana, our ocean. So as we descend towards Moana, you might have to equalize the pressure in the air. Just a few more little bumps here as we make our way towards the ocean. Folks, I don't want you to worry about these bumps. You just think of them as Mother Nature blowing its kisses, and I'm taking care of the rest of my feet as best as I can. As we look just off our right shoulder here, you'll notice that some of these ridge lines have been flattened out, and as we look out to the front of us, the area close to the ocean has also been flattened out. And what we're flying over are the old pineapple fields of North Shore Maui. We no longer grow pineapple on this side of the island. That operation has been moved towards the Central Valley near the historical town of Makawao. Folks, if you're not too familiar with pineapple, it is a bromeliad, a beautiful flower when it blooms, and it takes 2 to 2.5 years for a pineapple to reach maturity before it is picked. Folks, as we leave the shoreline of Maui behind and cross over the Pailolo Channel for Molokai, allow me to take this opportunity to introduce myself a little bit better. Again, my name is Brody, and I am originally from the beautiful Garden Isle of Kauai. Now, I do live on that island full-time, and I am also of Hawaiian descent. My mother, Kamomi Aloha Okalani, Iliva Alani Anakalea, a beautiful Polynesian born and raised on the island of Oahu. Her mother, of pure Hawaiian descent, born and raised on the forbidden island of Ni'ihau, and a direct descendant of King Kaumoali'i, the former king of Kauai. Opposed with my grandmother being a direct descendant of King Kaumoali'i, what does that make me? A tour pilot in Hawaii, and I'm pretty happy about that. Folks, I know you don't have any microphones to ask any questions, but I'm going to do my very best today to answer questions that you may have. I've been doing this for about 11 years, and I have been asked some pretty crazy questions, and a lot of them, and some really silly ones. So let me get those ones out of the way, just in case you feel like you want to ask me those questions. Yes, the ocean goes all the way around the island, and it is the Pacific Ocean on this side and on the other side of the island. And believe it or not, the state of Hawaii is also part of the United States. These are questions literally asked by grown adult folks, and it kind of worries me just a little bit. And there is a lot more to go, but you'll have to wait for the coffee table book to come out. The Pailolo Channel is 800 feet deep, pretty much where we're at. However, just 2 miles to the right of us, it drops to 18,000 feet. The island of Molokai, the fifth largest of the Hawaiian Islands at 240 square miles, 38 miles long, 10 miles wide. Current population of Molokai today is a little over 7,000. And the number one industry that we have on the island is cattle. Now, you're not going to find any large resorts on Molokai. Maybe a few B&Bs. That's going to be about it. What you will find, though, are some of the most friendliest people you will ever meet in the world. And Molokai is also home to the highest percentage of pure Hawaiians living in the state of Hawaii, which sadly is becoming increasingly rare to find. The ranch lands that we have to the front of us is Murphy's Ranch, one of the largest privately owned cattle ranches on Molokai, covering 13,000 acres. Early Hawaiians called this hillside Pu'uohoku, meaning hill of the stars. As we cross over the shoreline at Maui Molokai, welcome to Molokai. The valley we have coming up our right shoulder is Halava Valley, marking the end of the road for the north shore of Molokai. There are no roads or trails to circumnavigate the island because of the tall sea cliffs we're going to have the opportunity of seeing here in just a little bit. Halava Valley is a significant location for us Hawaiians, and we'll talk more about that later in the tour. It is one of the most visited locations here on the island, because towards the very back of Halava are some beautiful falls that we can hike to. It does take about an hour to an hour and a half to hike to these falls, and I can promise you through experience it is worth every step along the way. Just coming off the left side of the aircraft first, the beautiful Oaula Falls of Halava. Folks, we're going to leave the back of Halava Valley behind us and now make our way to the north shore of Molokai. climbing from the ocean to 4,000 feet and claiming the title of the tallest sea cliffs on the planet. As we cross over the bridge line in front of us, I now welcome all of you to what I consider the star of the show, the beautiful and the majestic North Shore cliffs of Molokai. Enjoy. To the very back of this valley, we have this beautiful waterfall called Papala'ua, one of the tallest waterfalls in the state of Hawaii at 1,749 feet. Now we'll make a few turns here at Papala'ua for you, so have your phones ready. For the left side of the aircraft first, your final views of the tallest sea cliffs on the planet. In a moment, we'll go and bring this off to the right-hand side. Both every valley and peninsula along this northern coastline was home to the earlier Polynesians. In fact, as we fly by this peninsula, just coming off the front right of the aircraft, we're going to see some earlier Polynesian ruins. What we're going to be looking for is close to the shoreline here, and right where the vegetation starts to thin out, you can see some rock formations that are clearly man-made and left behind by the earlier Polynesians. So just coming off the right of the aircraft now are those rock formations. These areas are known as an ahupua'a, self-contained ecosystem, providing everything for those who lived within them. From the freshwater falls that comes off the cliffs for drinking and also to irrigate their crops known as taro. And to the land that gave them the resources that was needed to build their homes, and of course to the ocean which supplied them with an abundance of fish. Together the Hawaiian po'e would have worked these lands, and together they did more than just survive. Folks, the formation of the Molokai Sea Cliffs is all due to an earthquake that had hit the Hawaiian Islands thousands of years ago and shearing this side of the island off. And you can imagine the size tsunami that would have created. This earthquake left us with a story, and it is told within the horizontal lines we see within the face of the cliff. Every line represents a separate lava flow. One lava flow stacking on top of the other to create the island. Just around the corner is going to be the mouth of Halava Valley, and as I mentioned earlier, Halava Valley is a significant location for us Hawaiians. This valley was one of the very first locations to be inhabited by the very first Polynesians to arrive to the Hawaiian Islands between 0 and 600 AD. They were known as the Marquesans from the Marquesas Islands that sits just shy of 3,000 miles south-southwest of the Hawaiian Islands. For the Marquesans to have reached the Hawaiian Islands, they would have traveled the vast Pacific waters in Va'aka'olua, double-hulled outrigger voyaging canoes. Some of these voyaging canoes would have reached the length of 150 feet and could carry more than 100 people and supplies. This was not a one-way trip. They had masters sailing back and forth from Hawaii to the southern Polynesian islands. And the Hawaii Islands, folks, was not their first discovery. This is actually their curtain call. So they started sailing out of Southeast Asia and discovering the southern Polynesian islands around 1500 BC, making the earlier Polynesians the masters of open ocean navigation. As we leave the shoreline of Molokai behind, we come out to this small little island to the front right of the aircraft known as Elephant Rock. Now we're going to focus primarily on this larger island here. And what we're going to see is an elephant lying down on her right side. From here we have the back side of the elephant. And at the top of the island is the spine coming down towards the ocean. That creates the tail. In a moment we can now see the tip of her trunk, which is pointed towards Maui and leading us home. As I slow us down and bring his nose up, we're going to make a slight right bank. We'll be able to see the left side of the elephant coming into view here in just a second. Alright, wait for it. And there she is.
Henani kanu hona, henani ono, henani ku home pili. Hano Maui kalei loke ahinani hiba ku hokahi Hano Maui
folks, once again we'll be crossing over the Pailolo Channel. In Hawaiian, Pailolo means crazy fisherman. Now typically the ocean conditions between Maui and Molokai is pretty rough. So if you were out here in a smaller fishing boat, you would be considered a crazy fisherman. Now looking off that right shoulder and into the distance, we have the island of Lanai. This is privately owned by Larry Ellison and home to about 3,000 people. So pretty much everyone knows everyone on that island. Now Lanai is also known as the Pineapple Island because many years ago the Dole Company had a pineapple plantation there. And although we no longer grow pineapple commercially on Lanai, the nickname stuck. Now all of the 8 major Hawaiian islands is going to have its own nickname. And just to name a few of them, starting with my home island of Kauai, that is known as the Garden Isle. Oahu is the Gathering Place. Molokai, the Friendly Isle. Hawaii Island, the Big Island. And of course your home away from home, the Valley Isle of Maui. Folks, Maui is the second largest of the Hawaiian Islands at 728 square miles, 40 miles long, only 8 miles wide though, and its most narrowest point, which is the Central Valley. Maui has 120 miles of coastline, and the highest elevation of Maui is going to be Haleakala at 10,023 feet. And folks, the current population of Maui is 160,000 and still growing. And of course, the #1 industry that we have on the island, well, that's you, tourism now. So folks, thank you so much for visiting us in the beautiful Hawaiian Islands, especially during crazy times like these. And thank you for choosing Air Maui to get you around safely today. As we approach the shoreline here of Maui, we are coming up on the northern coastline of the island. As we look out in front of us, you'll see where those rocks are just coming off the shoreline. This is called Nakalele Point. And around the corner from Nakalele Point, we're going to have the Nakalele Blowhole. Now folks, the blowhole has not been very active this morning. This is not like Old Faithful, so you can't really count on it. This has everything to do with the tide and swell direction. But as we come around the corner, we'll slow it down, and who knows, we might get a chance to see the blowhole do its thing. But looking off that right shoulder, you see those cars right along that road there. That's the Kahikili Highway. As you follow that road up, you'll notice some parked cars up on the hillside. That is the parking lot for the Nakalele Blowhole. But I want to slow us down here and bring us right up abeam the blowhole here in a moment. And then, like I mentioned earlier, not very active today. We can see some people down there on the rocks waiting for the show to take place, but I think you're going to be waiting for a while. For us to reach the Nakalele Blowhole, we drive along the Kahikili Highway right under our feet. Now, folks, the Kahikili Highway, in my opinion, the most beautiful drive that we have on Maui. In fact, I do prefer it over the road to Hana. Now, just like the road to Hana, though, you should probably pack yourself a sack lunch, and while you're at it, pack a bag of patience. You will need it. This road is pretty windy, as you can see, but in some areas that you can't see, the road is so narrow that only one car can pass by at a time. Now, eventually, you're going to come to one of those narrow sections of the Kahikili Highway, and you'll come head-to-head with another vehicle, and one of you is going to have to show off that brand new Aloha Spirit you picked up, and back up. Now, my favorite location along the Kahikili Highway is the Olivine Tide Pools, and as we look off to the front right of the aircraft where these rocks come off the shoreline, this is known as the Olivine Tide Pools, and as we fly by these rocks, you'll see some shallower pools which make up the Olivine Tide Pool. Now, there's one major pool that everyone goes to, which is a good idea because it's the most protected out of all the pools, although I don't see anybody down there right now. It is still pretty early in the morning. But come this afternoon, there'll be plenty of people down there. So just coming off the right of the aircraft now, you'll see these shallow pools along the cliffs. This is the main pool. Folks, when you're visiting here, although this is protected, you should never turn your back on the ocean. And a good rule of thumb to keep in mind when visiting us here in Hawaii is anything beautiful like that, including our wahine, which is our women, will kill you. Case in point, my wife is extremely gorgeous, and I sleep with one eye open every night. Folks, I'm going to be a little busy here with air traffic control to get us permission back into the Kahului airspace. I'll be back with you here in just a little bit. Folks, I am still pretty busy here with the tower, but the cliff that we have just coming off our right shoulder, the tallest that we have on Maui at 300 feet. Anybody here, pass me a beer, and I'ma keep playing this music that you hear. And if you know the song, come and sing along with me. Walking with the beat to my left, beat to my right, and I'ma get faded at the tiki bar tonight. Then I'ma rolling up like my name is Bob. Yeah, I'm gonna party like I'm a Jamaican. If you really wanna know where you can find me, I'll be unwinding down in the islands, just lose track of your timing. Grab a drink beside me. Down in the islands,
anybody here? Pass me the rum, and we can find somebody who can play the steel drum. And if you like to see, then everybody dance with me. We got the ladies to the left, fellas to the right, and everybody faded at the tiki bar tonight. And we're all gonna dance to the rhythm of the waves while we drink Bacardi by the bonfire flame. If you really wanna know where you can find me, I'll be unwinding down in
folks, as our time with one another is coming to a close, I want to take this opportunity and thank you for flying with us at Air Maui today. It's been our pleasure to show you around, and we truly hope that everyone on board was able to enjoy your flight.
Down in the island, you don't need no invitation, no. Whoa, if you're looking for relaxation, get away with me.
Folks, on behalf of our incredibly hardworking ground staff, office staff, mechanics, and everyone else that it takes to get one helicopter off the ground, mahalo nui loa from all of them to you. Now, please do us a favor, folks. If you get the opportunity to visit one of your favorite travel websites, leave us a review. Let us know how we did. We would greatly appreciate that. Again, you're flying with Air Maui, and my name is Brody.
Lose track of your timing. Grab a drink beside me.
Folks, your tower is cleared for landing, so upon landing, please stay on board the aircraft until the ground crew has the opportunity to approach and assist you out. Once out of the aircraft, they'll direct you where the safest place on the ramp is, and then from there, escorting everyone back into the main lobby as a group. We truly hope that everyone enjoys the rest of the stay with us here on this Valley Island, Maui. Please come back and see us again when Maui calls to you. Mahalo, aloha, hui ho, my friend. Till we meet again.
Down in the island, down in the island. Every day people like you and me just wanna live naturally. Time told you and you told me nothing gonna get us down. Can't you see? I said if it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. No, 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 no. If it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. People all around making sounds and all kinds of noise. If I could only get there, then I could enjoy. Who they trying to be, who they trying to fool. Let's change the mood right now. Turn down the lights, it's time to cool it down. If it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. If it don't matter to you, it don't matter to me. Yesterday and what we could be, it don't matter. Getting more of what we don't need, it don't matter. Everything unless I'm with you, it doesn't matter to me, no. Bring it on down to me. Sing it on down for me. Sing it on down to me.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back.